Okay, girls. So Earth's ocean and the ocean's floor, we will continue with that. So last class we studied about ocean trench. We studied about density, temperature, and how is the ocean floor studied. I told you with the sonar, with they hear the sound and they calculate the waves of the sound. With satellites, we had to do from here. Satellites can measure variations in the height of the ocean surface, the features of the ocean with the height of the ocean surface. The features of ocean floor can affect the height of the water above them. Scientists can use this satellite, what you see in the picture here, to make maps of the sea floor. And they gather the data, and they also measure the features such as ocean surface, temperature with a high degree of accuracy. You have underwater vessels, like how we have astronauts who study the space by using rockets. There are scientists who use some specific, some important vessels to, like, we have special pilots for this. They can carry researchers, and they're remotely operated. Remotely operated vehicles are ROVs. They are flown from surface by remote control and can be explored. Like, especially, like, see, I have some special camera which I keep, put into one room, and I sit somewhere else and remote it. Same way. It's remotely operated vehicles where they sit somewhere else and fix those remotes or fix those, vehicles down deep inside, and from the surface by remote control, and they sit in the ship or the cruise, and then they control it by being on the surface. They control the inner depth. So ROVs can be used to explore the ocean at depths that are too dangerous for piloted vessels to explore. Okay, girls, I just need to say that 2 p.m. I will upload the assignment for science. Please make sure, girls. Let us continue with Unit 2, Lesson 2 here. Lesson 1. So we were doing the factors that are affecting, and we were doing the devices that are used to study the ocean floor. I told you the underwater vessels. I told you about satellites and with deep sea drilling. Scientists can collect cores or long tubes of rocks and sediments from the sea floors. Cores are drilled using equipment on large ships by studying the layers of the rock and sediments in the cores. They dig, they drill by using something. And by drilling, they found the evidence of seafloor spreading, which occur where tectonic plates move apart. And because of this drilling, when they use this drilling, they are actually disturbing the tectonic plates. Now coming to this, what are two main regions of the ocean floor? The two main regions are, one is called the continental margin, and the other one is called as deep ocean basin. Again, there are two important regions of the ocean floor. One is the continental margin, and the other one is deep ocean basin. Now, what is the continental margin, girls? This is the edge of the continent. Like if I show you on the map, the edges, the corners, okay, of the continent that is covered by the ocean, that is called the continental margin. The word margin, it means like the corners, you know how you put margin to your page, like that. The margin to each continent, which is covered by ocean. That is divided into continental shelf, continental slope, continental rise. Again, continental margin is divided into three things. Okay, it is divided into continental shelf, continental slope, and continental rise. I'll write down here, continental shelf, continental slope, and then continental rise. Now, so we have three things. We have continental shelf, we have continental slope, and we have continental rise. These divisions are based on the depth and changes in the slope. They are based on the depth, how deep is the ocean. Now, what is the difference? This is flat. If I talk about shelf, it is flat. Okay, underwater extension. It is flat, underwater, water extension. Next, what is the continental shelf? I told you it ends at the steeply sloping area, which is the, if I talk about continental slope, it is the steeply sloping area. What is the meaning of slope, girls? Anyone? It is a steeply sloping area. Slope means something like what you ride. It is, this is the slope. If I say this is the slope, when it goes deep inside here, it is a slope. And of course, rise means you have to come up like this, how you go to rise in a mountain. So I hope you understood till here that the two main important regions are continental margin, which is like example, this is a continent. Example, this is a continent, girls. The margin of the continent have, the margin of the continent has, it's covered with the ocean. So this margin is called as continental margin. And you have three things here: continental shelf, you have continental slope, and you have continental rise. And as I told you, the three different things: shelf is flat, slope is a steepy area, and continental rise, of course, something how it rises, you all know very well. Now, after deep ocean, it begins at the end of the continental margin. As soon as that continental margin is finished, we can know the deep ocean basin. The deep ocean basin. It's very deep. That part starts very deep. It extends under the deepest part of the ocean. The deep ocean basin includes narrow depressions. It has narrow depressions and flat, smooth plains. Okay, here. What is a mid-ocean ridge? Girls, can you see here? Can you see how ocean has a crack? Can you see here, girls, in the picture? How ocean has a crack. That is nothing but, it is called as mid-ocean ridge. Along undersea mountain chain. Now, even today when I'm giving you the assignment, I will give all from the vocabularies, girls. That's why always please highlight the vocabulary when I'm doing. Along undersea mountain chain that forms along the floor of the ocean is called mid-ocean ridge. It looks like a mountain here, girls. When you see, it looks like a mountain grown from here, other sides, and this is a ridge. This is the top of the mountain, a small mountain even. This is called a mountain, mid-ocean ridge. It occurs at the boundaries of Earth's tectonic plates, where plates move apart from each other. This motion creates a crack. There is a crack on the ocean floor, which is called a rift. What is that crack which you see on the top of the mountain ocean ridge, it is called as rift. And it allows the hot magma to move upward. Because of this crack, that magma comes up slowly. After many years, they cool because of the water and they form new rocks down the ocean floor. That's why the ocean crust are made of this rock. The world's longest mountain chain stretches about, oh my God, can't imagine, 65,000 kilometers along the global ocean floor. It's a very, very lengthy lesson, girls. Now, let us watch a video.
Earth's ocean. It is one of the most dynamic places on our planet. In fact, how exactly do temperature and salinity cause a change in the density of ocean water? Some ocean currents occur because the surface water at the equator is warmer than the water at the poles. As the water moves near the poles, it becomes colder and more saline, so it is denser. As it becomes more dense, it sinks below less dense water. As more cold, dense water sinks at the poles, it pushes water in the bottom layer toward the equator. Near the equator, this water rises as it warms up and is heated by the sun. This warmer, less dense water is pushed toward one of the poles by the water rising at the equator. It becomes denser as it cools on the way to the North or South Pole. When it nears the pole, it is made more saline by ice formation. The ice contains fresh water, water with low salinity. This leaves the remaining liquid water higher in salinity and thus more dense. This dense cold water sinks and moves back toward the equator in the current. You've learned a lot about the density of ocean water. Let's see what you remember. Match these descriptions of salinity to the density of the water.
Okay, girls, this is now your turn. Yesterday, I explained you all about density. You must know when it is very hot water. So the water will evaporate. How about the salt remaining? Is it more dense or less dense? Come on, girls. Where should I put this? Low dense or high dense? Judy, Noor, very hot water. When water evaporates, very hot water, low salinity.
Low
Density?
density.
Yes, it's high density. Now, why it's high density? Average, lowest, highest. Okay, we have even the word highest density and lowest density. It's the lowest density. You said low, that is correct. It is lowest because see, when it is low salinity, that means lowest density. Now, average will be average. Cold water, when it is cold water, that means the density is highest. But this one is highest, and here this one is high. Room temperature with average, this is average. Warm water with average salinity is low density.
Great job! Developments in technology have helped us overcome many of
As
the
I told
challenges.
you, sonar, we spoke about satellite, we spoke about devices which are deep inside the ocean. Okay, and they can regulate via remote ROVs. And finally, we have the sea drillers, how we go drill down and they check it. So one by one, we'll see again.
Sonar uses sound waves in water to map the bottom of the ocean floor. A sound wave is sent down to reflect off the ocean floor and back to the device, providing scientists with an image. Ocean probes are deployed to collect information such as temperature, salinity, the velocity of ocean currents, and details about organisms in oceans. Probes can communicate with computers to relay images and information to the surface for scientists to collect and analyze. Scientists analyze the composition of the ocean floor by drilling into it using drilling ships and retrieving rock and sediment samples. They analyze these samples in laboratories.